Hello friends, in the last video I had shown the usage of list and set to find some common and some unique elements, and we have seen that the set is approximately 10 times faster as compared to the list. Agenda of this video is to cover two things. First, programming best practices, and if time permits we will explore the set in more details. Why I have chosen set for discussion is because I have observed that it is the most rarely used data structures despite of its powerful capabilities. I will use the same code we have seen in the last video and will try to refactor it using the best coding practices. This code has only one main method, as we can see here, which contains approx 60 lines of code including comments, and obviously it is not easy to read. You have to scroll all the way down to see the whole logic written here. When writing a code, you should take care of at least two things. First, code must be efficiently written, and the second is the code must be easy to understand, or in other words it should be readable. I am sure you must have heard of solid principles. Here I am not going to discuss it again, but I will try to use few of its principles in this video. S of solid principle says that a class or method should have only one single responsibility. In our current code, our main method is taking care of populating a list, processing it, then creating set from the list, finding the intersection of two sets, and finally finding the difference of two sets. I just want to reiterate that intersection of set is collection of common elements between the two given sets, and the difference is the collection of unique elements excluding the common elements in both the sets. One of the best practices is to extract the reusable code in different class or method. If the methods are not using any instance variable, then put those methods in a utility class and make them static methods. In this video, I will be using this concept. We will extract the methods in a utility class and mark those methods as static. To start with, go to src folder, locate your package, right click on it, create a new package and give it a name, say utility. Click finish, right click on the new package and create a new class and give it a name set utils. Click finish. In this set utils class we will define total 6 methods, and after completion this class will have the code which we can see here. And to get the list of methods available in the class, you can press Ctrl O. So these methods we are going to write in the set utils class. First one will populate the list. It will take two integer values and create the persons between the given start and end range. Using the same logic, we will create a name of person with person hyphen value of the counter, that is I. Here, instead of starting the loop from 1 to 100 or any number, I will start the loop from the given start value and it will iterate till the given end value. For each value of the counter, we will create one person and add to the list, and finally we will return this list to the caller. Next method we will write is to create a set from the list. So it doesn't contain much code, it is only having one line where we are using the constructor of hash set, which is taking one collection. It could be any collection type object. Here we are passing list, so the constructor itself will take care of converting the list to hash set, and we will return that hash set to the caller. And signature of the method is we will accept a list of string, convert it to set, and as we know set is an interface and cannot be instantiated, so we will instantiate a hash set and pass the incoming list as a constructor argument and return that hash set to the caller. Next method we need is to find the common elements between the two given lists. We will use previous logic here. For each item of list 2, we will compare each and every individual item of list 1, and if both the values are equal, we will add it to a new list created with the name result and return that list. Then we need one utility method which again takes two list items and try to find the unique elements out of these. Here also we will iterate the second list for each item of first list, and if both the items are not equals, then we can add that item to the resultant list. But we need to take special care here. If we are using this logic, then it will give you total number of items as a combination of both list minus the number of items in the subset list, and eventually if we have 10 items in the first list and 3 items in the second list, we will end up with 27 items, which we don't want. We want only those items which are unique. This logic won't work here. We'll have to comment this line and take a boolean flag which will say whether the two items, one coming from the list 1 and another from the list 2, are equal or not. If not, then after finishing the iteration on the second list, we check if we have come up with the flag as true or false. If the values in both lists doesn't match, then we will add it to the resultant list which we have created here, and finally we will return the resultant list. Next method we will write to find all the common elements using set. In this case, this method will take two set objects, set1 and set2, and try to find the common elements in both of the sets and return a set element with those common elements. It depends on the caller how this returned set can be utilized. In this example, I am not going to use the return value, but if required, we can take appropriate action from the return value. So here, say set1 has 10 elements, 10 persons, person 1 till person 10, and set2 has 3 elements, person 8, person 9 and person 10. Then the retainAll will retain only elements that are contained in the specified collection, means the collection given in the argument. In that case, only the values which are contained in set2 and set1 will be retained, and rest of the values will be removed. Here, one thing need to be taken care of is that this operation modifies the actual collection. So after the operation, it will only contain the values which are available in set 2. Similarly, we will find unique elements if we have person 1 to 10 who are veg lovers, and person 8, 9 and 10 who are veg lovers but also loves to have non-veg food. We will try to find out only persons 1 to 7. So here we will again use an inbuilt method of set object, which is removeAll. What it does is it removes all the objects which are available in the set which is passed as an argument here. In that case, set2 must be a subset of set1, and as a result, only those values will be available in the set1 which are not contained in set2, and again set1 will be modified and returned to the caller. Previously we were creating the list of persons in main method itself. Now we will call only setUtils.populate method and pass the starting index and the end index to the utility method, and we will get the list of persons between these given ranges. So we will create 10 veg lovers and 3 non-veg lover persons. Then out of those two, we will try to find common food habit. We will try to find common food habits between the two given list of people, and will print the list returned by the utility method in the next line with the size of the list returned. Similarly, we will find the unique elements, and same we will do using the set data structure. Here, as I discussed earlier, since retainAll and removeAll operation modifies the actual set, we will have to create a backup set which will contain the superset of both the sets, so that we can retain the actual values available on the modified set which were present when we initially started our operation. And we can see now it looks much clearer than what we had written earlier. One more best practice says that none of your method should contain the code which should span more than one page size. Let's run this program and we can check. We had created 10 persons, person 1 to person 10, who were veg lovers, and 3 persons, person 8 to person 10, who were non-veg lovers, and we can find that, and using the find common element from list, we found that those 3 persons 8, 9 and 10 loves both kind of food. In the next method, find unique element from the list, we found that person 1, 2, person 3, person 4, person 5, person 6 and person 7, total 7 persons only loves veg food. Same operation we perform using set and got the same output. Person 8, 9 and 10 have common food habits, and person 1, person 2, person 3, person 4, 5, 6 and 7 doesn't have common food habit. Still, one thing is missing in this code, which is Javadoc about the purpose of the method and the argument and return value which are expected by this method. For the sake of brevity, I have not checked this validation. Finally, we will return a list of persons. We go to the caller of the method and hover over the method. We will get this information that the method is returning the list of persons between the two given integer values and returns a list of person. I hope now you will be able to refactor your code as well, and if you find this video helpful, please update in the comment section. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.